Alright there, welcome everybody. This is Zenith Online Racing. This is the EU tier. We run this on Sunday nights. Kicks off at 5 p.m. Eastern and 10 p.m. in the UK. We got a full grid here tonight. Couple reserves hanging out in the field. Mostly everyone else, though, full-time drivers here, so not going to be many freebie positions tonight. It's quite the field. We got a new driver here, Larkin. From rumor has it, he is quite quick, so keep an eye on him in the qualifying session. See what kind of times he is setting early on. Looks like a few cars heading out here. J. Cole on his out lap. Obviously, more than likely looking at a dry race. I haven't seen any comments pop up yet, so I'm not 100% sure, but it's damn near impossible. Stream things looking sharp. So J. Cole going to be the first hot lap here in the EU tier. This is round 8, so getting towards the halfway point of the season for their calendar. I think they've got 18, maybe 17 races on the calendar, but they're about halfway through the season at this point. So J. Cole with a pretty commanding lead in the championship so far. Larkin supposedly pretty damn quick though, so maybe he can make a dent in the top 3 in the championship hunt if the rumors are true. We'll see what happens there. J. Cole now starting the first hot lap of the evening. 15 minutes still remaining in qualifying here. You see some cars just leaving the pits now. Oh, huge rush to get out here. So strategy here, it's a bit debatable. Still up in the air to see what happens. I think what is quicker and clear air is a 2-stop strategy, but the problem with the 2-stop strategy is that you're dealing with traffic and there's a lot of other factors that can affect your race. Obviously getting stuck in traffic, running into people on alternate strategies, you know, maybe picking up a speeding penalty costs you 5 seconds, just things like that. So hitting twice, you know, the risk increases if you speeding into a pit lane or something like that. Yeah, so Monday night what we saw was a lot of guys just opted for the softs, and I think we had 4 guys on the softs in the top 4. We had a few medium runners behind. And then, yeah, the medium runners behind opted for the medium hard strategy, which ultimately provides much better tire life overall. Able to go much quicker and drive in a lot more safe manner. So it depends on your confidence around the track. You know, if you're someone who's sliding around and feeling like a lot of these corners are catching you out quite often, you maybe don't want to be risking driving around on nearly bald tires. As J. Cole, he sets a 129.1 and then he spins his a cool down lap. So not what J. Cole would be hoping for. So we got a few times up on the board now. J. Cole at the fastest time on the hards. Martin Robertson, another new driver here. He has a 29.5 on the softs. So, oh, J. Cole disqualified. What happened there? That is massive. The championship leader has been disqualified from qualifying there. I think he was possibly just turned around. Did he get turned around again? Oh, and Fuzz has lost the car and crashed. He's out. So, J. Cole and Fuzz out of the session already. 13 minutes remaining in qualifying still, and J. Cole gets himself disqualified. Maybe he spun around again and then just couldn't get turned around with traffic. Not entirely sure what happened there. I kind of missed that. But Fuzz also crashed and is out. Bones sits a 131.9 just crossing the line there on the hard tire. A lot of guys on the hards right now. just kind of getting a feel for things, and then gonna put in their hot lap. So, see, figure the guys out on hards at this point, more than likely already planning to go onto the medium tire for the next run, I would think. Maybe even wait till the end and put in a medium run. Rob, the only driver on the medium so far, 28.8. He's in third, so that's a pretty solid time from Rob. Johannes sits at 27.9 on the softs. That's a pretty decent time as well. And Sousa at 28.4, so he's about half a second down on Johannes at this point. Check in with the Alphas. You got Jinnit with the 29.7 and then Zimagos with the 29.8. So they're pretty close as well, both out on the hard tires. There goes Beck into second. Beck, a very quick driver, but has issues keeping it on the road. It's either a win or DNF for Beck, it seems, most races. Or close to a win, at least. Maybe a podium or a DNF. Maybe better. Well, it looks like we have a Racing Point spun at the end of the track. There's at Porter, it is. He spun there right near the pit entry. Coming out of the final turn, so that's going to ruin his next lap as well. This would have been his hot lap. He's obviously not going to have any pace coming down the straight here. It's going to be a pretty crappy time from Porter there, so he'll need to come back in and get another lap on the board. Coxey heading out. I think he's reserving tonight. He gave up his seat here, but popped into reserve. Rob still out there on those mediums. He's going to go for another hot lap here. No, he's pulling over. Probably heading into the pits more than likely. Let's check in with that Oscar. And this Frank Lucas. You know, I haven't done commentary for EU for a couple weeks, so I'm not entirely sure who's got a seat anymore. So I'm going to check in on that. I think Frank Lucas does have a seat in EU now, though. Yeah, Frank took the seat of Coxey, who was in Haas, and then Matt, who was not here, Coxey is filling in for. So that's confusing because Coxey was listed as a Haas driver, but he's not anymore, but he is tonight. Yeah, but Frank is his seat. So Frank playing for keeps tonight in the Haas. Here, looks like we have RC. Has invalidated this run. Is he going to go for another hot lap, or is he going to come into the pits? He is coming into the pits. Probably a good call. 9 minutes left. Don't want to waste much more time on the hards at this point in the session. Martin Robertson just starting a flyer. Looks like a Haas behind. That's Coxey also starting a flyer. So is Coxey getting a bit of a tow here from Martin, or is he a little too close? Maybe going to ruin his lap here. He might be just far enough to be picking up a tow and not be caused issues. Look in the background here. Yeah, Coxey's probably getting a bit of a slipstream there. That's probably working out well for him. Not going to cost him too much in the corners, but Coxey also on the soft tire as well, so it looks like Martin has gone purple there in Sector 1, according to the map. He's on the soft, so not terribly surprising to see a purple sector. Someone has beat it though, so it'd probably be Coxey behind, or possibly... Who is that car behind? Or, sorry, I don't know who that is behind. It looks like an Alpha. It's Jinnit on an outlap, okay. Sector 2 time for Martin. He's up 5/10, not purple, but he's up, so that's going to put him at 28 flat, which will put him very close to the front. Just needs another 10th or 2 here, and he could be on provisional pole. Jump to Coxey behind and see where he ends up. So 5th for Martin. And then Coxey into 8th. Jinnit. Still out on hards. He's on a flyer right now. So he's definitely going to put the mediums on and try to start on them. Pretty famous Jinnit tactic. Not surprising to see him. He's gone purple there in Sector 1. Maybe we're having a glitch there, because he's only up 2/10, so I can't imagine he's actually going purple. There's Martin getting out of the way. Jinnit opening that DRS, bombing down here with these hard tires. See what we can do at the end of Sector 2 here. Not a ton of cars out on track at the moment. A lot of guys just waiting it out. Jinnit up 7/10, nearly 8/10. So, where will that put him? Put him in the high 28s. Right around 5th or so, perhaps. Let's see what kind of time he sits here. There he goes into 5th. Good time from Jinnit there. It's a really solid time. You could be threatening for pole position here on the medium tire. Larkin currently sitting in 4th on the mediums. He's got a 28.5 on the board, so not as quick as we thought. When everyone was talking, it seemed like it was doomsday here, and Larkin was coming into Lewis Hamilton this week, but so far, not that much faster than everyone else. Rob goes into provisional pole to 27.5. Johannes had improved his time, but Robin jumps up by 3/10, so 27.5, the new benchmark. Here comes RC. Sorry, it's not RC, that's Porter. 28.3 for Porter, so he goes into 4th. RC, I believe, is on a flyer, though. We've got a Red Bull coming around, and I believe that would be Barton. Barton reserving tonight in the Red Bull. Normally the head steward of the league, so he's not going to count no matter where he finishes. Doesn't really have a seat. Just here for shits and giggles. Where are we here? Larkin on an out lap. We know RC's on fire. Let's check in with his time. He's on that medium tire. And RC looking to put up a good lap time here. See what he's got at the end of Sector 2. He's up 8/10. That is going to, that's going to definitely put him in the mix for about 5th or 6th. Needs to find another couple tenths here. There we go with RC's time. It is a 28.9, so while it doesn't find the time he needs, he needed a lot more than a couple tenths there. He's only into 9th place. He improved 1.2 seconds. So it looks like we got a Williams coming across the line now. That is Andre Sousa. He's starting a flyer. He's currently 5th on the soft tire, 28.4. So he's right in the mix there in that top 5. See what he can do here. Right on board with Sousa. Pretty new to the league himself. This is his 2nd race full time. Looking like he's got a pretty sweet helmet there too. That red, yellow, and blue. Yeah, it looks like he's gone purple in Sector 1, although we may be having a glitch there, so yeah, I missed the actual Delta split. I'm not sure how many tenths up he was. Larkin crosses the line. He goes 3rd on the medium, 27.8. Let's get back to Sousa. He's up 2.5 tenths, it says. Let's see what he gets in the Sector 2 time. He's only up a 10th, so he might improve a spot, maybe 2 spots if he has a really good final sector here, but not looking like it's on for Sousa. He might consider coming into the pits and getting a fresh set of boots and giving it another go. Oh, he's spun. Definitely needs to come in the pits now. Don't finish the lap. Yeah. No way. I think he's got just enough time to get back out there. Just because he came in right now. If it was 230, 220, it might be not enough time. I think he'll just make it back around if he gets out quick. Hopefully not any holdups in his garage. There's Zamoglis. He's coming around to put a lap on the board on the medium tire. What can he set here? A 28.6. So he puts himself in a 7th. Not a bad spot. Just ahead of his teammate by only 200ths there. Who do we have coming around? Is that, no, it is Barton. He's putting a hot lap on the board now, just crossing the line to start that hot lap. Larkin has got plenty of battery here. He may consider staying out and doing another hot lap here, because he's not going to get another run. I think he may turn this up. Yeah, he has turned it up. I think he's going for another hot lap here. So let's see what time he can set. We'll keep an eye on him, and we will check in a bit. Adri into the mix now with a 27.9. He is only 10th off of Larkin. Beck into second with a 27.5. That's a good time from Beck. Got a Renault coming across. Who is that? Maybe someone just starting a flyer. Check in with Porter here. He's on an outlap, so I'm not too worried about what he's doing at the moment. We'll check in with him in a bit. Ryan is on an outlap as well. Let's check in with the Alpha of Zamoglis. Probably coming in as well because he just finished a flyer. Who do we have there in that Toro Rosso behind? Martin Robertson. He's on an outlap. I'm not worried about him. Larkin on a flyer, and Barton, he's about to start a flyer as well. So let's ride with Larkin. I think he's going to be crossing the line, kind of kicking off the final few laps here, the race for pole position. He's way down on his time, so yeah, he's backed out of this lap as well. Maybe going to go for it now. He doesn't have a fuel light on yet, so he probably has enough to do it. But yeah, he's turned the engine up. He is going for it now. So Larkin actually just starting his final lap of the session. We'll check in with him shortly. Let's check in with the Williams. Andre Sousa on his outlap. Is he going to make it around? He was close. Johannes on an outlap, just getting across in time. Adri going to get another run here as well. Here goes Adri. Comes an Alpha, Haas, a Renault, a Williams. Any of those guys improving. That is Gilzo improving there into 4th place, 27.8. So pretty interesting, interesting top 5 at the moment. Some pretty quick guys there, duking it out for pole. We've got a Mercedes coming around for his final lap. That's Beck. He's invalidated. He's going into the pits. Has no fuel left. Who do we have here? Is this Coxey? No, it's not. It's Frank. Frank invalidated. He's done. That's it for Frank. Ryan on an outlap, not going to get across in time, so he's done. Who do we have here? Is that Janet? No, it's Zamoglis. Zamoglis, I think. He says he's up. He might put this lap on the board. See if he improves. He does. He goes into 9th, so maybe just secures the top 10. Martin finishes in 11th, does not get into the top 10. Poor man's pole, though, so that's a good place to start from. Who's that Mercedes crossing the line? That's got to be Bones. It is Bones. He goes to 13th. We've got some Red Bulls coming. Is it Larkin? Here comes Larkin. Let's see what he can do here. Is he going to get pole? 27.6. So Larkin into 3rd. We got Rob on provisional pole. Beck in 2nd. Larkin in 3rd on the medium tire. Johannes in 4th on the softs. Gilzo in 5th on the medium. Adri in 6th on the medium. Barton in 7th on the medium. Janet on the medium in 8th. Porter in 9th on the soft. Zamoglis in 10th on the medium. Can anyone else jump in there? Yes, they can. Who was that? Someone just jumped up big time there. It's like Andre Sousa, maybe? Yeah, got into the top 10, into 9th there. I think that's what it was. Now, Zamoglis on poor man's pole. Not a bad place to start, though. I think if you get the strategy right there from 11th, you could go onto the podium for sure. Frank invalidated his lap again, so he hasn't really been able to get a good time up on the board there. And that is it for qualifying. Yeah, actually, interesting. Just checking in the Discord there. Back very close there, actually. Only 700ths off. Um, but J. Cole going to be at the back of the grid, so be interesting to keep an eye on him and see how his race strategy pans out. Just had that bad luck getting turned around in qualifying and then having to, he ended up getting disqualified, so obviously a little bit disappointed with that. Game's a little bit quick to disqualify people that are turned around the wrong way. It's a bit frustrating. Not sure how much of a break there's going to be here. I don't think they really plan for much here in the EU tier. So we probably get going relatively shortly. It should be a good race for sure. An interesting mix of strategies up at the front. We'll see which ones play out. Soft tires really only going to take you comfortably about 6 laps here. I mean, you can extend it if you want, but you're really putting your risk in jeopardy early on. So, going to be tough for some of those soft runners at the front, but if they can separate themselves while the guys behind on the mediums are squabbling with one another, perhaps they can get themselves into a nice little pocket and get on the hards and make that strategy work. But we'll have to see what happens. I mean, there could be safety cars as well, so can completely neutralize the strategy aspect of the race at any point. Here we go with the formation lap. Rob 2K on pole position with Beck in tow in that Mercedes. Larkin starts third on the medium tire. Let's bring up the detail. Get that telemetry off the screen. Just restart. Just to free up the menu a little bit. And Johannes starts in 4th on the soft tires in the Williams. We got Gilzo starting 5th on the mediums in the Renault. Adri behind in the McLaren. Barton in 7th. Jinnit in 8th. Sousa in 9th. Porter in 10th. Samoglis in 11th. He started on the softs, curiously. I'm not really sure that was the right decision from 11th. As you see every other driver outside the top 10 besides him and GP Collin. Perhaps expecting a safety car, thinking maybe this would pay off. And I mean, I don't know. You still can't really take the tires to the end. Unless the safety car comes at lap 5 or 6 and maybe get lucky. But yeah, not too sure what they were thinking there. Sousa Porter makes sense, you know, they're just trying to get a good time on the board and they end up in the top 10, so they're kind of forced into it, not much of a decision there, but I think a lot of guys, they say that, this is what I always hear, is that the game put them on the wrong strategy. And I think a lot of times what happens is they set their strategy up and they actually forget to select it as their race strategy. I've done it myself, and then I get out there and I'm like, oh shit, I just realized what I've done. But yeah, easy to do. So maybe not their intent, but see what Zamagos can do there. Still, the soft hard is doable. Definitely not the recommended strategy, but it is doable if you're in the right pocket. Rob 2K resuming his grid box. You see the number 1 painted on the top of it. He is on pole position. This is round 8, the EU tier, Zenith Online Racing. We are waiting for the lights, and we are going to go racing here under the lights in Bahrain. On board with Rob, so we can get a look at those lights. There we go. We have 4 lights on, 5 lights are on, and they're off. Good start from Rob there. Looks like a bit of wheel spin for Beck. He looks like he didn't get the greatest start. He's going to be under threat here from Larkin. Larkin moving into 2nd already. And Larkin down the inside. Is he going for the race lead? He is on lap 1 going for it. Larkin around the outside. He's got by Rob. There was a bit of contact there into turn 1. I'm not sure. Whoa! What's happened there? I see some styrofoam flying in the background. Someone has gone off. Yeah, we've got, looks like Zamaglis has lost the car already, and we've got a Mercedes out. It's Beck. He's out of the session. He is out already. As I said, it's either a win or a DNF for Beck, and this week it was a DNF. He is out in the barrier. We have a safety car already, so that's going to help Zamonglis out after losing a massive piece of his. He's got absolutely no front wing left to Zamonglis. Look at that. It's just the nose. There's nothing left there. He had a huge moment, massive impact into the barricade, and he's going to get away with that because there will be a safety car that will help him, and he'll be able to get a clean slate and just stay in 19th for the time being. See what's going to happen at the front here with some of these soft guys. I wonder if they're going to take the gamble onto the hards and see if they'll go to the end. I'm not entirely sure, though. Maybe like Johannes and Sousa, they gamble because they're not really looking at a win here. But Rob is sitting there in a position where he could potentially win this race if he gets back in front of Larkin. So it's interesting. Maybe Rob considers it as well, but I think Rob needs to stay out for track position. Larkin heading in. What is he thinking? Oh no, he's dummied Rob there. I thought he was heading into the pits there. I think he was just trying to trick Rob into thinking he was going for it. But so yeah, Larkin the newcomer, but already playing mind games with the drivers out here on track. Yeah, a bunch of drivers pit. We've got Adri in, Coxey in, Porter in. Zamoglis is in as well. Obviously needs to change that wing regardless. Bones is in. So all these guys going to the hard tires. They're going to try and go to the end of the race here, I think. I think that's the idea. And they get a couple laps free tire wear here. And then if they just manage the tires really, really well, they probably could go to the end. I think that if you're going to try and do some racing on those hards, you're going to probably burn them out before it's over. But just really need to pick your battles and be smart if you think you're going to try and get them to the end. Fuzz sitting in a great spot there at 13th on the hards, and RC in 10th on the hards, sitting in a good spot as well. So those guys, the strategy could work out nicely for them as they're, they've already got by most of the other hard runners, and they'll likely be working together as well if they cross paths. So that could work out nicely for those two drivers. The rest of these guys pit behind, and they're on very fresh hards, one lap newer, but that's not going to give them much of an advantage. So we'll see what happens. Track position going to be important, though, between the hard runners. And then you got Ryan, who's opted for a different strategy here. He's gone to the medium tires. So Ryan definitely going to have to stop again, but if he goes medium, I think he's going to have probably the best overall pace strategy-wise. So probably going to work out nicely for Ryan. He was not in a great spot anyway, so probably worth it to pit. Maybe needed a wing anyway because he is a little bit behind the field right now. No indication that the safety car is coming in, so I imagine we're staying behind it for one more lap at least. Probably the end of the next lap it'll come in. So Larkin is currently leading the race there. Rob is in second. Gilzo's in third. Barton is in fourth. Johannes in fifth place. Sousa in sixth. Chinnett in seventh. Martin is in 8th, Frank in 9th, RC in 10th. So, that's your top 10. It should be the last lap under the safety car. I'm going to check in with the chat here, see what is going on. We got any predictions here at this point of the race? Anybody thinking any surprises, any predictions for who might win this thing overall? I think obviously Larkin has to be close to the favorite at this point, given he's in first on the mediums, but hard to say. Anything could happen at this point, really. I think RC on the hard tires there definitely could be a threat towards the end of the race as well. He'll be on maybe on the softs at the end, so could potentially be a contender for fastest lap as well. We just have to really see how it all pans out. I mean, honestly, there could just be some incidental contact that causes an issue and completely changes the scope of this race in the next few laps anyways. But some of these soft runners, if the safety car doesn't come in this lap, maybe consider pitting if it doesn't say it's coming in. Team only picks Gilzo to win, so bold. I would say, given that Rob is between them right now, it's going to be a little tricky for Gilzo to be pressuring Larkin for a win, but depends. If he can get by Rob on the restart here, he might be in a spot to challenge for it. is the safety car coming in. Did I miss the notification? I think it is coming in because Larkin is really back in the field up here. I've got a 5-second penalty for Frank. Collision under the safety car. That is severely unfortunate. Really, it's something that's very easy to do, but you gotta understand when the car is coming in that everybody is going to be slowing up, and there is no overtaking until you see the green flag right before the start-finish line, so there's really no need to be right up anybody's butt until right at the end of the safety car lap. But Gilzo, here he comes. Just what he needs to do. T-Money rooting for him, and Gilzo hears it. Gilzo looking to make that move on the restart here. He's down the inside here. Rob is really covering him off. Covers that inside line very aggressively, and Gilzo ends up not getting a very good exit because he took such a acute angle into the corner. It's just really hurting him here, but he's taking another look down the inside, just not close enough to take a lunge there. Rob definitely would have probably bumped him and would have been a disaster for both. But Gilzo needs to find a way through here. Down the next straight, he really wants to find a way through. These soft tires of Rob not going to be lasting much longer regardless, so Gilzo shouldn't be struggling too much to get through. It just depends on tire temperatures really at this point, just off the restart here. Let's see what Seuss is doing here. He's pressuring Johannes ahead, his teammate. They are in the Williams together. Seuss with a little bit of a wobble there. And Johannes is very close to Barton ahead as well, so looking to make a move there on Barton. Soft tires seem to be working a little bit better than the mediums at this point. Probably going to be in the next few laps. There's a bit of a crossover there, and then the mediums will start to become a much better tire. We'll see what happens to these soft runners in a few laps' time. But Gilzo has dropped off a bit, so Larkin now with a 1.5 second lead over Rob. Gilzo 0.5 off of Rob, so 2 seconds behind Larkin now already. Not going to get DRS for another lap, so definitely going to be really hoping for a potential overtake in this lap before the DRS is activated. If not, he'll be through in due time, and then he can start his chase to Larkin. Johannes still pressuring Barton, and Sousa and Jinnit very close behind as well. So Jinnit now pressuring the soft runners in front. Sousa with a bit of a lag there. J. Cole up to 10th already on those medium tires, so J. Cole strategy working out pretty nicely for him at the moment as well. Obviously got disqualified in qualifying, pretty unfortunate, but oh, Frank has a moment! J. Cole's through. Did J. Cole make contact with him though? He did. He's lost his end plate, I think. I didn't see an end plate there on J. Cole's car. Oh no, it is there. Okay, he's good. I didn't think he touched, but then the just the lighting, it didn't look. I guess the yellow inside of the wing didn't look like it was there compared to the background with the beige color. But yeah, J. Cole through. Frank makes a big mistake. Frank under pressure now as well from GP Colin, and he's looking to find a way through on RC here. RC on those hard tires. They're wheel to wheel up the hill. Bad place to go side by side, and Frank's lost the car. GP collected. GP collected in that incident. Frank looks like the back end of that car is just, it does not have the stability he needs. It has completely stepped out on him. He was nowhere near the inside curb that tends to be the reason people spin there. He wasn't anywhere near that curb, and still the car rotated on him. So definitely maybe a bit of a setup issue there for Frank. He seems to be struggling to keep the car pointing the right direction. Gilzo now, I think DRS has been activated again. Is it? Yes, it has. DRS for Gilzo here. He needs to find a way through here. Rob driving very well still on those softs, managing to keep Gilzo behind. Jinnit really starting to pressure Sousa as well, who has lost touch with his teammate Johannes. Johannes has lost a bit of time to... Oh, sorry, no. Johannes still hanging on to Barton closely. It's Sousa who's lost the time to Johannes. And we've got J. Cole all over the back of Martin here as well. So J. Cole really looking to catch up to Jinnit here. Try to charge his way up to the rest of the medium runners and start scrapping for the podium positions here. Definitely what J. Cole needs to do after a really bad qualifying session for him. So if he could get a podium today, I think he'd be pretty happy with that. Martin, 4 seconds off of Jinnit, so it's starting to really cost J. Cole a lot of time to the rest of his competitors, his rivals here tonight. J. Cole looks like he's close, though, so we'll get on board with J. Cole, see if he can find a way through. We do have a really good scrap for 12th there, too. All the cars behind Fuzz are really pressuring him there, so Fuzz is going to be under threat in due time, and a lot of cars looking to attack there. As J. Cole gets through, Martin has to yield to him. J. Cole now on to charge, looking to catch up to Jinnit. He's got 4.4 seconds to get there. Jinnit has made it through past... Oh, no, they're still side by side here. Sousa looking to defend. Now Jinnit sweeping back across on the outside, and he kind of pushes Sousa to the inside there, and then Sousa's lost the car. He's gone off into the gravel trap. And Sousa on the inside there stayed on the curbing and then just lost the back end of the car on the exit trying to get the power down. So Jinnit side by side with Sousa there, pushed him to the inside, forced the mistake, and Sousa off into the gravel. So the unfortunate part is Jinnit did well to get by Sousa in terms of his scrap with J. Cole, but because he ended up causing Sousa to spins, J. Cole now doesn't have a car in front to get by, so now it's just J. Cole chasing down Jinnit. Clear air. Martin Robertson and RC both within a couple seconds as well, and then Sousa within the DRS range of RC. Adri pressuring Sousa now as well on these hard tires. Sousa's going to start to struggle on the soft, especially after a spin. And all the hard runners here. Adri has made it by Fuzz, but now Coxie is stuck behind Fuzz next. So he needs to find his way through as well. Adri right up the back of Sousa here. Is he going to send it down into turn 1 perhaps? Sousa defending the inside. Adri is just going to have to back out of this. Really nothing there for him. So Adri, Sousa with a good exit though. He's heading into the pits, so Adri's just going to get released regardless. Sousa into the pits. Anybody else pitting? Doesn't look like it. No. GP stays out. He does, yep. And Gilzo and Rob. Sorry, Gilzo's made it by Rob. I've missed that. Gilzo has overtaken Rob. Now Rob looking to fight it back. Rob going to be pitting very shortly regardless, but Gilzo definitely doesn't want to be wasting any more time squabbling with Rob here. He's only 2.4 off of Larkin though, so depending on the tire management situation here, Gilzo's sitting in a pretty good spot here to contend for the win. So maybe T-Money's prediction looking a little more possible now. Johannes is very close to the back of Barton here. Barton on the medium tire, Johannes on the soft, yet still putting the pressure on Barton here. I just see Puppet Master there left the session. I guess he popped in a little bit late there. He missed his opportunity to get his seat for the night. He hadn't said anything and wasn't there at the time to start the race. And then Ryan's gone so wide, he's ended up in the gravel and cost himself even more time. Sabaglis has made his way through now. That's very bad news for Ryan. On the medium tire, he's gone wide and lost a position to a guy on the hards. And he's really got a bunch of guys on the hards ahead that he needs to get by. Rob has pit finally. He is going on to the medium, so he's probably going to stop this race as well. Johannes right up the back of Barton here. He's still applying the pressure here, but now that Gilzo has been released by Rob, Larkin's actually grown the gap a little bit. So maybe Larkin just kind of working on some gap management at the moment. Now he sees that Gilzo is by. He's starting to turn up the power a little bit. Try and increase the gap. It's going to be an interesting gap battle between those guys at the front there. And Barton himself is not terribly far off the front runners here, so that's good news for Johannes as well, who's looking to extend his soft stint so he can probably one stop to the hards. And the good news is that he's got about 10 seconds to the hard runners that are on the old hard tires behind. So he's probably going to only be about 10 seconds behind them on fresh hards once he comes out of the pits. So Johannes running a pretty decent strategy at this point of the race. And he looks like he's going to stay out another lap there. Not a bad decision, really. He's in the DRS range. So even with his soft tires being quite worn, He's using that DRS advantage, getting a nice toe here from Barton, and that's going to help him gain that little bit extra time that he probably wouldn't really have with just on pure traction exit with his worn softs. But that DRS and that slipstream helping him gain a few tenths down these straights is going to help improve his overall race time here. So not a bad decision from Johannes here, and that just kind of makes his stint on the hards a little easier to manage. I believe I pit lap 7 on Monday night, and I finished on the hards with about 70% wear. So I think anybody now on the softs still probably safe to pit and get to the end. It's just a matter of how comfortable you want to be, because I was definitely sweating the last few laps thinking I wasn't going to make it. But sorry, I actually think I finished around with 80% wear, so I was starting to worry about a puncture a little bit on my rear left. So definitely try, if you think you've got another lap and you're on the softs, I think maybe extending one more lap is worth it, but it's not worth it at the detriment of your overall pace. I mean, Johannes is doing really nicely here to hang on to the back of Barton. He's still within the DRS range, so Johannes maybe considers staying out one more lap just to hang on to that little slipstream advantage he's got, because he knows he's probably more than likely going to be in clear air once he comes out of the pits. Definitely going to happen soon, though. One more lap for Johannes. He's got the DRS. Probably a good decision to stay out. No point in wasting the DRS. He will definitely lose it by the end of this lap. And Gilzo has pit already. He's come off the hards. Or sorry, he's come off the mediums onto the hards here. And Gilzo maybe looking to do the undercut on Larkin here. Maybe he catches Larkin napping a bit. I don't know how long those mediums are really going to go, but let's see what happens with Gilzo. I'm watching as he really needs to get ahead of this Toro Rosso here. That is huge for Gilzo. See, he's got to stay ahead of Rob here. It's very important. Rob is going to have those tires warmed up, though, so he's going to have a little bit extra grip, and it's really important that Gilzo stays ahead here. He needs to stay ahead, and Rob sends it down the inside. Gilzo's going to have to look for a switchback. We got a beautiful helicopter cam here, but Gilzo has lost the place. That is very costly. Rob is on the medium tire, so Rob definitely going to be a little bit quicker. If Rob can get away and not be holding Gilzo up, then not the worst thing ever for Gilzo, but I think he really wanted to keep that place. What he does have in front of him is a bit of a gap here, and he would have been able to keep. There was a bit of front wing there, so probably some contact in that corner. But Gilzo, he has a bit of clear air there. If he gets in front of Rob, he's in a bit of a gap, and he can probably use that gap to pull off an undercut here on Larkin, and then it's just a matter of how much time is he going to lose trying to get by the other hard runners once he catches them. They're going to be out for quite some time. I'm not entirely sure that strategy is going to play out. Johannes finally pits. Good call from Johannes. And Barton pits as well. So Johannes probably... Oh, Barton double stacked with Larkin. They didn't coordinate. I mean, Barton doesn't count anyway, so it's not terribly unfortunate for Barton. But Larkin there, where is he going to come out? Larkin in the front. Oh, he comes out right beside Coxey. And Bag of Bones gets in front of him. So a few of these hard runners have made it in front of Larkin. So that's good news for Gilzo. That's going to cost Larkin some time for sure. Bag of Bones still defending this. And, oh, it looks like they made a bit of contact there as Larkin's wing damaged. It was just a very light bump. Looks like he's okay. Just looking for space here. And he's really under threat from these hard runners behind. But Gilzo stuck behind Rob. He's lost quite a few seconds to Larkin here. So what he really needs to hope for is that Larkin can't get through here, and that Gilzo can start making up time on him while Larkin's trying to get these hards warmed up. Johannes comes out on the hard tires in 13th, just behind Gilzo, just ahead of Barton. So good spot for Johannes there. He's actually looks like he's in for a net podium, I think, depending on how the strategy all plans out with these other drivers here. But he should be on for net podium. Larkin has made it by Bones. Very important for Larkin there. And Gilzo still stuck behind Rob. So, you know, I don't know, man. Hindsight's always 20/20, but it looks like maybe the overcut would have been the better option for Gilzo, because Larkin pit pretty early still, even for medium runners. He probably could have gone a little bit longer. Well, I guess it is around lap 12. what, 12 and 17 would be the ideal split for mediums to hards. Some of these soft runners have gone 11 laps. GP is still out there. For 11 lap old softs, he's just gone in. So some of these guys extended that soft stint, and then they're going to be on hards that are relatively similar to some of these medium runners. So they actually haven't really hurt themselves too badly by starting on the soft tire. We've got quite a scrap ahead of us here. We've got Ryan has just made it by Coxie, and Coxie is now under threat from Rob as well. So Coxie really starting to lose some pace in those hards. Well, he's under threat from quite a few drivers here. Gilzo is up the back as well now. Gilzo right beside Rob. He's looking for room on the outside here. Oh, Coxie braking very early, and Rob's gone so deep trying to defend, and I think Gilzo's made contact. Did he break his wing there? I saw a piece of front wing snap off. Yeah, I think Gilzo has maybe made contact and broken some of his wing. Let's take a look. Yeah, he's missing his right end plate, so just Coxie locking up, braking. Gilzo just nowhere to go, ended up hitting the back of him. And Coxie's lost a few seconds as well, so Coxie may be pushed off the track by that moment as well, so that's got to be frustrating for both drivers there. Definitely not what they were hoping for. Ryan now needs to get by Zimagos. He's running these medium tires here. He's probably looking to maybe get off those tires in the next lap or two. Here comes J. Cole pitting. He's going to the hard tires. Where is he going to come out? Goes Rob and Gilzo. And J. Cole will slot in behind them, I believe. Actually, Johannes, no. Johannes will get ahead. Does he? Yes, he does. And the Red Bull of Barton as well. So J. Cole now has to get by Barton and Johannes to get back towards his teammate Gilzo. So good news for Gilzo in that sense. The bad news is that Larkin is a few cars ahead and a few seconds ahead still as well. It looks like Rob and Gilzo scrapping there wheel to wheel, but Rob has still kept the place for the time being. He's on that medium tire. Is he going to try to extend those mediums to the end of the Grand Prix here, Rob? I think there's a chance he might try, but it's going to be tough. Looking for some space here. He looks like he's got a good exit. He does have a good exit. Is he going to get DRS? He does. I don't think he's going to be close enough though. Rob just at top end speed, seeming able to defend from Gilzo here. Got a lot of really close battles in the field right now. Larkin and Fuzz are very close. They're dueling it out with RC ahead. So Larkin going to be losing a bit of time here trying to find his way through these drivers. That's going to be helping out his Gilzo behind, who is really the closest competitor to Larkin strategy-wise at the moment. And then Johannes and Barton and J. Cole all quite close to Gilzo themselves. Jinnit into the pits. He's going to the hards for sure. Fuzz defends it again from Larkin. He nearly makes contact with RC ahead. Larkin on the inside of Fuzz now, and it looks like he maybe cut the corner there. I think he did, yeah. So he looks like he yielded that position just because he did cut the corner to gain an advantage, but now has much better traction into the corner, and he has overtaken Fuzz. Fuzz has, oh, nearly lost it. Bit of a tank slapper there from Fuzz, but he saved the car. Good job from him to save that. And then RC, the next victim for Larkin. He's looking for a way through. Is he going to send it down the inside here? He does. RC has to go deep to avoid the contact and yields it to Larkin. Larkin is through. And now scampering off into clear air for a few seconds up the road. Adri, 2.6 up the road. Gilzo's still stuck behind Rob, so really I think Larkin's out of reach at this point now. Gilzo really needed to have been by Rob by now because he still has a few cars ahead to worry about too. To say there for Gilzo. Not really sure what my advice would be at this point, but besides the hard runners behind him, he has a 17 gap to Sousa, so Gilzo has a pit stop in hand to all the other cars behind the hard runners, which means he might be able to catch them if he was to stop and put the mediums on perhaps, but right now he's still struggling to find a way through. Here comes Fuzz down the inside on RC, and he sends it late on the brakes. Oh, did they touch? RC trying to close the door there, and they do touch, I think. Fuzz is a little loose there, trying to find some traction after they made a little bit of contact. Rob is right up the back of Zimagos now, and Gilzo's still stuck there. Jinnit has made it by Johannes, so Johannes now losing ground, and J. Cole all over the back of Johannes as well. Still a good drive from Johannes regardless. I think he, doesn't need to really fight these guys too hard. And then Barton is the driver behind. You don't really have to worry about Barton. He's not going to count anyway. So Johannes not in a bad spot here. He can probably sit back and conserve his tires and maybe go for an attack at the end. Rob still doing well to keep Gilzo behind. And he's starting to pressure Zimaglis ahead, who's on old hards now. Got Ryan and Porter very close to Sousa now as well. Ryan on fresh mediums, he's going to have a lot more pace, and he's going to be looking to get through quickly here. Sousa, I think, maybe going pit for another set of softs, and he'll be done. Who's that pitting? Oh, someone has spun. It's Bones. Bones has gone around. Maybe touched that infamous inside curb. It's very lethal. Very unforgiving as well. Larkin has already caught Adri, who hasn't even pit yet. So Larkin showing the pace that people were worried about. He is ahead by quite a margin already here. Who is that pitting? It's Fuzz. Fuzz into the pits. That will release a few drivers. Gilzo still stuck behind Rob, who's now made his way by Zimaglis. Now Gilzo needs to get by Zimaglis next. He's going to have much more traction than Zem here. Zem's hard's going to be on the end of their life, while Gilzo's sitting in their prime life. He needs to send it here. He has to. And he does. He's late on the brakes, has much more traction. Goes a little deep in the corner, and Zimaglis back alongside Gilzo, but Gilzo ultimately with more traction ends up gaining the advantage he needs and finishes the overtake there. But Jinnit now needs to get through. So his teammate, Zimaglis, in front of him. Jinnit needs to get by him if he wants to hang with Gilzo and Rob. Larkin very close to passing Adri at the front as well. I imagine Adri probably going to pit in the next lap or two. Same with Zimaglis. Comes Jinnit. He's looking, but nope. Luckily, Gilzo hasn't really gotten away, so this isn't costing Jinnit as much time as it could, but it is definitely going to hurt him for sure. Frank is out. Did he retire in the pit? He did. Here comes Jinnit. He's already ahead before they even get to the corner here, so I think Jinnit's got the place, and yeah, he's through. Adri has been passed by Larkin, as you see the Red Bull going by with the DRS. Oh wait, Adri defending this. Is he going to keep it? No, he isn't. Larkin with the better traction goes down the inside and ends up taking the place. Adri tried, but wasn't really enough there for him. Gilzo's still stuck behind Rob. This has been very detrimental to his Grand Prix here. Check out the scrap behind. Johannes is under threat from Jekyll and Barton as well. Bag of Bones pressuring Martin as well. Let's see if he can get an overtake done here. He's got that DRS. Is he going to send it? He thinks about it, but he's not close enough. Bit of a short straight there, so it's kind of tough. I don't see any other potential overtakes on track at the moment. Johannes and Jekyll very close here. Jekyll's all over the back of Johannes. Jekyll wants to get through here. And Bones has not made it by Martin yet, still. He's going to have DRS again. He is closing, but not close enough, I think. So we'll stay with this scrap here. There goes RC into the pits finally. It looks like he is going to be in clear air. There's only one car behind, and it's close, and it's the McLaren of Fuzz. So it might be RC versus Fuzz to the end of the Grand Prix here. Should be pretty interesting. I'm excited to see that. Now Fuzz actually flying by, so Fuzz way ahead of RC here, but RC going to the soft tire. Not sure he's going to get the pace he needs. He's way behind. RC's gone even behind Ryan here, and it looks like Zimaglis might even get him. Zimaglis and RC side by side into the corner there. Zimaglis ahead, so great news for Fuzz. I think Fuzz is in the clear here. He's got about an 8-second lead on his buddy RC there, and RC on the softs will be quicker, but Probably not quick enough to catch Fuzz. I think Fuzz in the clear there. He's got 14 seconds ahead to Barton and 6 seconds behind to Ryan. So Fuzz kind of found himself a nice little pocket. He looks like he could be on for a decent result here tonight in the EU tier. That would be good news for Fuzz. J. Cole still pressuring Johannes here, and then we've still got Jinnit all over the back of Gilzo, who's now more worried about Jinnit than he is with Rob ahead. So Rob's defended valiantly and kept Gilzo off his tail long enough that now Jinnit posing a threat to Gilzo, especially with the much fresher tires as well. So Gilzo's strategy to pit a little early on the hards just backfired, didn't really pay off. If he had cleared that pack that he ended up behind, he probably would have leapfrogged Larkin. But because he got stuck behind that train, he pretty much lost the race right there. Alternatively, if he had stayed out, he may have overcut Larkin, but then again, Larkin may not have pit so early if Gilzo hadn't gone in on lap 10. So, very interesting to theorize all the different possibilities about what could have happened, but ultimately what's happened is Larkin has really run away with this Grand Prix. So I'm pretty fresh hards out front by 3-second margin, and the closest car that could really pose a threat to him is about 9 seconds away right now. Still, this train continues. Gilzo not through, Jinnit not through, Johannes not through, J. Paul not through either. Barton losing ground to these guys here, but just none of them able to find a way through. All the DRS trains just really strong here. J. Cole right on the back of Johannes there. Nearly nudging the gearbox, just needs to find a way through as soon as he can and then start working on the drivers ahead here. Will he have a shot here? Let's bring up that telemetry so that he can get a look at it. See where everybody is at. I'm not going to say it on the air to not give the drivers any advantage, but we'll show everybody where everyone is. So he's looking good for sure. He's doing okay as well. Also doing okay. They're in a little bit of trouble, so very interesting little scrap we've got going here. It's actually a lot of fun seeing these 5 guys racing so close, and it's all for keeps between these guys as well. They're all in the same strategy, so it's all to play for still for that final podium position. I think Rob may have to pit again, but realistically, he's better off probably staying out given the margins behind him. RC and Fuzz look like they're, RC and Zamoglis having a bit of a scrap there, and RC has made it by. The train continues. The Rob train. The Rob 2K train. Zamoglis still hanging on to the back of RC, but we really shouldn't really move away from this scrap. It's good action. Oh, who's that gone off? It's Johannes. Huge, huge moment for Johannes. He's spun and contacted the barrier. I think he's lost a lot of his wing. Luckily, he still has all 4 tires, so he can continue here. He does have quite a huge buffer behind. These cars are not terribly close yet. If he gets into the pits and gets a change quick, he could get back out on the softs and maybe close the gap to the guys that are going to pass him under the pit stop here. But obviously he's pretty much lost out to all the drivers he was running in the pack with there. Jinnit looking for some space here. Gilzo trying to make a move on Rob. Still hasn't found a way through here. The DRS train continues. J. Cole lost a bit of time there. I think he was just reacting to the moment Johannes had their wheel-to-wheel. Rob and Gilzo. Gilzo down the inside. Goes deep trying to stay on track, and I think Rob got it back. And now Jinnit is looking for a piece. 3 of these guys really duking it out here. I think they're all going to the end as well. I can't imagine Rob is going to stop again. If he is, he'd have to do it right now. But that's just going to lose him places that he might be able to keep, so I don't think it's worth it. Got a Haas in the pits. Who is that? It was Coxie, I believe, going on with the softs there. Gilzo not finding a way through. Still, and Gilzo goes deep there. That's going to hurt him. Is Jinnit going to have a look? He does. Jinnit gets by. So Gilzo's gone deep, and he's lost the place to Jinnit. And now his teammate J. Cole right on his tail. There's no love lost between these two, though. As much as they are on the same team, they are contending for the same championship. So Gilzo not going to be letting his teammate through by any means. J. Cole knocking at the door. Gilzo's going to be looking to get back in front of Jinnit there. He's been stuck behind Rob for so long, and now Jinnit sneaks by, and now Gilzo going to be frustrated by that and wanting to get back in front if he can maybe take a look. Is Jinnit going to find a way through on Rob, though? Can Jinnit do it? That might help. Oh, Jinnit's wheel to wheel with Rob. He squeezes him. He's on the outside. Rob squeezes him to the outside of the track, so squeeze on both drivers there. I think that's even game there between the two. Jinnit down the inside. They go wheel to wheel through the apex, and I think Rob and Jinnit, I think that was clean between the two, but Jinnit ultimately gains the advantage and gets the move done. So Jinnit's found a way through after Gilzo wasn't able to. Now Gilzo right on the back of Rob. See if he can find a way through. His medium tires for Rob probably really falling off. Maybe the strategy just not paying off for Rob here. But he does have a decent cushion behind him. The only guy behind is Barton that can really threaten. So Barton isn't going to count anyway. I wouldn't even, if I was Rob, I wouldn't really worry about losing these places. Because he's probably going to lose them regardless, and then pitting is just going to guarantee that you lose all the spots behind. Even possibly to Ryan in 9th. So not really worth it for Rob to pit, but if he does get overtaken by Gilzo and J. Cole, even if Barton gets him, it doesn't matter. Barton is not going to count, so he still could be in a good spot regardless, Rob. See how this pans out for him at the end. But yeah, pretty much the majority of these these guys have been duking it out with one another and providing some pretty good action for us. Let's get back to that broadcast view. There goes J. Cole down the inside. He's made the move stick, I think. Gilzo looking for that switchback. J. Cole obviously off the line a little bit to get the move done, but it looks like he's got enough traction to make it stick. Now he's looking at Rob. And down the inside, oh, are they going to touch? It's Rob and J. Cole. They go wheel to wheel, but no contact. Nothing at least too bad, so there's no spin there. Nothing really to worry about. Jinnit really not getting away like he would hope. Needs to be putting the throttle down now before J. Cole finds a way through here. Adri's still out on the hard tires. I guess he's made his stop, actually, so he's probably going to the end, actually, Adri. I forgot he pit under the safety car. I'm looking and just realized why is he only got 22 laps on the hards and it's lap 24, but yeah, so he pit under the safety car and actually might make that work. This could pay off for Adri. Because these guys are all squabbling with one another and Adri can just kind of sit there and baby these tires home. Jinnit could be a threat for sure, but if Rob can keep J. Cole and Gilzo behind, then Adri might be safe for a podium still. That'd be a hell of a drive from Adri if he pulls that off. Some of these broadcast shots are just horrendous. There we go. The three guys still stuck. These two Renaults are getting sick of looking at the back of this Toro Rosso. Is J. Cole going to get it done? He does go to the outside. Rob defends it down the inside, sweeps across. There's a bit of a contact there between the rear left and the front right of J. Cole and Rob. But it looks like that was relatively clean regardless, so I don't really think there's much in that anyways. J. Cole going to send it late. There's more contact. He nudges the wheel of Rob. Oh, and then he's fishtailing a little bit. Rob gets the place back, so I think it's clean. And there goes J. Cole sideways and Gilzo through too. J. Cole off. So just desperate to find a way through there and just couldn't wait. Decided to go side by side in a very high load corner and ended up costing him dearly. J. Cole has lost places to Gilzo and Barton. Now Gilzo finally back at his rival Rob here. Is he going to get a crack at him towards the end of the Grand Prix here? Rob's tires are going to be just dead, and Gilzo probably has enough left in the tank to really put the pressure on and go for this 4th place here. Yeah, man, what an interesting little battle there between J. Cole and Rob. Just a couple wheel-to-wheel contacts between the rear and the left, and then so what I saw live between them. So J. Cole, his front left had nudged Rob's right rear, and that unsettled Rob's car, And because his car was unsettled through the exit of the corner, here goes Gilzo. He's going to look for a move here. He sends it down the inside. Rob looking to defend this, and they bump wheel to wheel here. Making sure he gets all the track he needs, Gilzo, and he sweeps across and pushes Rob to the edge, and then gets that overtake done. So Gilzo finally through, and now he can put the charge on and go chase down Zenith ahead. See if he can close that gap and fight for that podium. Rob. So anyways, the contact between the front left of Jekyll, rear right of Rob. So it loosened Rob's car to the point where he didn't really get enough traction out of the corner, and then that put Jekyll alongside him. And then Jekyll had a bit of a fishtail. Actually, Jekyll was almost ahead, really, and it was almost a bit of a bump pass, but it was about to be. But then Jekyll had a little fishtail, and that fishtail put Rob back ahead of him just slightly. And then because they were side by side through that corner, and Jekyll was forced to take such a weak angle, his car just sort of drifted over into the side of Rob. It was that classic front wheel to the side pod contact, and basically just put Jekyll sideways. So I don't think there's much in that. Probably just going to be a racing incident at the end of the day, but ultimately, you know, caused by that pressure that Jekyll felt to just get the move done and find a way through, even if it wasn't much of an overtaking spot. So probably frustrated with himself there. Zenith now getting the move done on Adri here. That's pretty much a done deal. I don't think Adri's going to fight that. There's not really a point in fighting it because he's got to worry about the gap to Gilzo behind, who Gilzo probably on for the podium now, given that Adri is ahead rather than Zenith. He's got 2.5 laps or so to close that gap to Adri and take that final podium position. See if he can do it. Adri drives valiantly here, pit under the safety car on lap 1 to the hard tires, and has driven them right to the end of the Grand Prix here. So Adri, regardless of where he finishes, is going to have a pretty good performance here. Even if Gilzo gets ahead, I'd say Adri probably safely in 4th, maybe at worst 5th. I just don't know that Rob's going to really have the pace on those really old mediums to actually do anything to Adri, but we'll see. I can't imagine Adri's got really much left at this point. He's basically probably just ice skating. Really look at the you can really see the tire wear lines on all 4 tires there, even from the broadcast view. So he's definitely not going to have the pace to fight. But again, Rob won't either. So I think Gilzo may be really the only real threat left for Adri at this point. So fastest lap there. Let's see who put it up though. Imagine Larkin, given that he's 13 seconds ahead here. Checking with that Ryan and Zamagla scrap as well. Keep an eye on that. That is our closest battle at the moment. Barton close to Rob too. I think, just noticed Zem's helmet. It looks like it's purple and yellow. I guess that's the LSU colors. Did Zem think the race was over? Or is he just trying to break the slipstream? Okay, yeah, he's just trying to break the slipstream. But yeah, cool, cool helmet there for Zem, the purple-yellow helmet, the LSU shout. Trying to defend that position from Ryan, who's looking for room down the inside. Ends up having to cut the corner to get himself some space there. He's not going to have it. Adri... Oh, did Adri have a moment? Because Barton's through as well. Oh, Adri's struggling here. Did he get a puncture? Oh, I think he did. He's punctured the tire. Oh, and he's reset to track, which isn't allowed either, so that's not going to help him. But yeah, he's punctured the tire. And I figured it was a gamble trying to get to the end there. Which tire has he lost? Imagine the rear left, it looks like. Yeah, the rear left is punctured. You can see it really vibrating there. And he goes round again. Another spin for Adri. So rather than a 3rd or 4th place finish for Adri, he's probably not even going to get a point now. And that's the gamble. I told a driver messaged me before the Grand Prix and asked how long do you think the hards can go, and I said I took them about 22, and I was starting to worry that they were going to get punctured. So by the end of the Grand Prix, after 23 laps, there's a bit of a jumble there between these 3 drivers. Jekyll ahead of Rob now, and Barton looking for some space as well. We've just seen a little bit of contact there between all the guys. Barton trying to send it down the inside here, looking for some room. Rob's tires just must be absolutely dead. Just can't really do anything here. He looks, he's all over the track, barely keeping it on the road. Some more action down here. Ryan and Zimagos wheel to wheel here. And I think Zimagos still has the traction out of the corner. Ryan with the DRS again, though. Is he going to take another look? I think he is. No, he actually tucks back in. So, final lap for those two. See if Ryan can get him. The only place left he could is right down this straight here, where we are on board with Barton, who is now behind Rob with DRS. There it is. He's very close. Let's get back to the scrap with Ryan. Larkin about to cross the line for the win. We'll get to that quickly. There he goes. Larkin across the checkered flag, the fireworks, and the race victory here. Barton has made it by Rob. Let's get to Ryan and Zimagos. This is Ryan's last chance. He's got to throw everything he's got at this. He's got one more sector to get this done. He's as close as he's been. He's got that DRS. He's right up the gearbox to Zimagos. Can he get him before the final turn, before the checkered flag? He's got to turn that battery all the way up. Turn that fuel all the way up. Zimagos. Oh, Zimagos. Barely anything left in the tank here. And Ryan just there, hurling towards him. I think Zimagos has just enough to keep this place to the end. Oh, it's such a good exit for Ryan, but that's the final lap, and he won't get another crack at it. Good drive there between those two. And, yeah, Ryan finishes behind Zem. J. Cole only 2/10 off of Gilzo. So Gilzo actually gets the podium. I think that was on penalties, perhaps. Wait a second. Yeah, J. Cole never was ahead of Gilzo, was he? I think he was actually trying to catch Gilzo. He was behind Rob, making his way through. Yeah, that's probably what happened. All right. Unbelievable. Did you guys see that? The AI in this game is amazing. I think that was Sousa. Yeah, it was. Look, Porter's there too. Jesus Christ, this game. That's good shit. And there's the other racing point as well. Oh, fantastic. Here comes the Haas. Surely he'll be joining the pile up. Yep. Oh, fantastic. I love this game sometimes. Alright. I don't know. Driver interviews? Should we? Yeah, T-Money. Tough luck for Adri at the end there. It was a bummer. Almost pulled off a brilliant strategy, but obviously the puncture. That's the gamble. I really didn't think the time. I was suggesting, when I was giving advice, I would say I wouldn't take them more than 25 unless you're prepared to like seriously manage them. Like you'd need like 3 laps of proper management where you barely put any wear on them, and then you might be able to go 25. But 22, I was feeling like the car pulling to one side and stuff, and I was thinking like, I was like, one of these tires is going to burst on me or something, and I feel it, but it never happened. So I think there's probably a bit of a buffer there, a few more laps you can go, but definitely not 28, what Adri was trying to pull off, because look where he finished. He's nowhere. He's down in 17th. You know, he basically ruined his race there. If he had pit for the softs, he probably would have come out around 6th or 7th and got a handful of points still, so you hate to see stuff like that. But Larkin wins, Jinnit 2nd, Gilzo 3rd, J. Cole 4th, Rob 5th, Barton 6th, Fuzz 7th, Zimagos in 8th, Ryan in 9th, Bagabones 10th, Johannes 11th, RC 12th, Martin 13th, Sousa 14th, Porter 15th, Coxey 16th, Adri 17th, Colin 18th, Luke 19th, and then I think Beckley for CNF 20th. So that is it for the EU tier. Yeah, we'll wrap it up. Not going to do the interviews, flying solo. But yeah, good race for sure. It was a good race. Chicken commentating, or commenting, well, he commentates as well, but he's just commenting in the channel there that it was a good race, and it definitely was. There was a lot of action through the field there. I mean, Larkin really had it in the bag pretty early on for the victory, but the rest of the field was pretty much up for grabs for the entirety of the Grand Prix. It was a really good race between all the guys there, so Thanks to them for putting on a good show, and we will catch you tomorrow night for Tier 1. Chicken will have the broadcast there, and we are going racing in Canada. That is the home Grand Prix of probably about 50% of the drivers in the field, so going to be an exciting one for a lot of people tomorrow. Really tricky circuit, obviously, circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Very tricky track for a lot of guys. There's probably going to see a lot of penalties and a lot of accidents tomorrow, but overall, one of my favorites, obviously being a home Grand Prix for me. Hopefully I can put a good result in, and we will catch you then. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.